Okay, so the Type on Path tool in Illustrator can help you work type around any kind of shape you want, right? And just like working on a horizontal, you can play holding down Option with the kerning by using the arrow keys in the kerning. So I can spread it out. Keep it all at its defaults first and get all my type in. Now the problem with it is, when you're working with a logo, you want your type to also be incredibly clean. And that's not always possible, right? So a lot of it is finding the right typeface. And so this is what I like to do. I kind of scroll it over here. And you can just go through a lot of different ones pretty quickly just by hovering and seeing what makes sense. Some are going to work better on the curve than others. Now, there are a lot of options here. I'm just getting into the A's. So let's look back to the folder and see some of the ones that I was excited about that I marked last time. Here we go. There's one in particular, the ruler modern. I think I was pretty interested in. There's always couscous. There's Calderoc. So those are ones I might try. Oh, and DOS modern. So let me make sure I try those. And you can always just type it in. DOS modern. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Nope, I don't think it's right. What were some of the others? Ruler modern I was very excited about. Let's see if it actually works on the curve. It's a little weak. A little weak looking. And you can save these different options, of course. I'm liking the Love of Thunder still, but let's try Cocoa Goose. Cocoa Goose looks good too. It has stronger arrows. So when I can't decide, this is what I do. Cocoa Goose is very similar to Love of Thunder, it's just different arrows. So let me just change the arrows to Cocoa Goose. Yes, much better. So remember, this is just a shortcut for actually, you know what? Let's see. I'm just going to copy and paste this arrow in. Then I'll flip it. Same thing here. Okay, now the stars, I need a good type of star. I want it to look like swear words, right? Shockwave works pretty well. I need it to be somewhat textured to go with the letterpress. That's kind of interesting. Get to some unexpected solutions sometimes. Might be nice. Okay, so here's the thing about working with a circle. You have to use the large selection tool with it, and then you'll see these little handles. And that allows you to rotate and center your text. It also allows you to swing it to the inside, if you want to run the text underneath rather than on top. So many options. Now I can use the Type on Path tool and play with the kerning using Option and the right arrow. Let's see, let's try that. There we go. Play with the kerning between these. I might as well play with the coloring on those as well. But I might not be able to do that because that color is built into the type. So I'm going to have to outline that type first. But let's make sure I can do everything I can with the type tool before I outline it, especially in regards to kerning. If you want to even across a word, you should select the whole word, not just the middle of it. That was my mistake. Select all of that, bool, then hold down Option and spread it. And because I have my blocking sketch, I know I want those arrows to go beyond halfway. A little tighter kerning here. Okay, and now I'm going to use the large selection tool and find that handle. Sometimes it can be hard to find. Swing it around. Okay, now I'm going to select it all with the Type on Path tool. And I'm just going to, because I have different type sizes, different point sizes, I'm just going to increase all of them until it's where I want. That's kind of a nice effect, just what the selection gives me. Okay. So that is how I can make it work around one way. Now let's take that circle I designed there. Let's put the inner circle in that I worked around, right? And now I'm going to swap that inner circle and work on this outer circle. So I'm going to copy it, paste it, paste in place, turn it off, lock it, and now I'll use that as my Type on Path for established period 2019. I'm going to use Love of Thunder. I'm going to use whatever size I was using here. I can check that. 90. .90 size. All right. And then I have to use the large selection tool to sweep the handle to the inside in order to bring it in and under. Then I can play with the kerning. Spread this out a little bit, holding down Option. Spread it out a little bit more with the EST, since that feels a little visually heavier than the 2019. And then you can see, and this is why I make it as a duplicate on the circle, I have to shrink that circle a little bit to get it in line with my other one. Shrink it a little bit more. Where's the, there it is. Yep, so that works. Okay, and then it looks like to adjust this one still. Rotate it, that's the purple handle. And adjust the other one. It's the green handle. Now I wanted that arrow to be right on the top. So to do that, I think I do need to compromise. I don't get to use those weird asterisks. Maybe that's for the best. And instead I'll use something more standard. I think Shockwave worked pretty well. I just need to make them bigger. Now I'm still going to outline all of these and turn them into custom vectors so I can move them individually, but I like this because I'm showing you that I'm trying to do as much as possible with just the type tool. Option, I'm going to expand the kerning a little bit. I'm going to work across all of bool and decrease that kerning a little bit now. So I'm trying to get this arrow up to the top. Decrease this. Yeah, and that's working. Okay, now I turn on my circles. I see how they look. The outer circle looks okay. I can make it a little bit smaller. The inner circle I need to make a little bit smaller. And that's why I made duplicates so that the type isn't tied to these circles. It's tied to a copy of these circles. And I want to go quite tight, so maybe like that. That's looking pretty good. I might be able to get away with taking both type layers, holding on Shift and Command, select both of them, and then together holding down Shift and Option and shrinking those a little bit. Right? And then going to the outside circle and shrinking that down. So this was all done with the type tool. And you see how that typesetting works out? So what's the problem? Well, I need to change the direction of that arrow. So how can I do that? Well, I want to do it for all of these type layers. I select them, and usually I would do this with a copy, but I'm pretty confident this is what I want. And so then you go to the path, and you right click and you say Create Outlines. Come on, computer, keep up with me. And now all of that is an outline. Good, lock it. Now I do it with this text. Right click, Create Outlines. And because they are now vector shapes, I can simply use the small selection tool, grab it, large selection tool, rotate it, maybe move it up slightly. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Does that typesetting work pretty well? And I'm not having to modify and redraw a lot of stuff. Now, what's nice about that too is if I want to move that period a little bit closer, I can just do it. I don't have to worry about moving everything else. Maybe split the difference. So you really have full control of all aspects.